Hey, welcome back to another episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. I'm down here at the house this evening. Thanks to daylight saving time, I got some extra daylight this evening to get down here and work. As you can see, it's pouring the snow, and any sane person would be inside working on interior projects, but right now we're kind of stuck on the interior. We're waiting for some things to come through as far as some of the reconstruction. We're pretty well done with most of our demo. So I'm out back today taking a look at the patio. What I'm trying to find out is how the patio was laid up. Was it laid up on sand? Is the sand on top of, bare soil? Or was the sand on top of an original concrete patio that may have been poured when the house was built? It's kind of a mystery right now because the elevation of the patio doesn't really make sense. They set the patio that's behind the house higher than the patio that's around the pool, and they set the patio that's behind the house higher than the foundation. So we've actually had water seeping over top of the foundation. And then when working in the kitchen, I actually saw where the original crawl space entrance had been blocked over underneath the kitchen sink. So at some point behind the house here, there was a crawl space scuttle hole. And I don't know if it was down in a well, bricked around where you could get down in there, or if the level of the patio was originally at the level of the scuttle hole. So I don't know for sure, but I'm going to dig down this evening right there around the kitchen window, right there where the scuttle hole used to be, see if I can see any evidence of the old exterior grade, before this patio was added. We're trying to sort out the water issues. Part of it we know is from the lack of gutters and functional downspouts, but the rest of it we know is actually from the way the patio is actually graded, and it's above the grade where it should be, and it's actually graded kind of towards the house, or maybe it's sunk in that direction over time, and now you've got water just pushing up against that foundation all the time, which is creating a lot of pressure there, and a lot of water is getting through the foundation and into the house. So big mess there, but I'm going to do a little exploration this evening and see if I can figure out what's going on. Behind me you can see the pool. It's looking good. Sort of. I mean, compared to where it was, it's looking good. If you remember when we started, this was a swamp, and it was full of algae, full of this real kind of dark water and all sorts of nastiness on the bottom. And over the course of the weekend, we got down in here and we got out the old tarp that used to cover the pool, and we shoveled out wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of sludge off the bottom of the pool. So it's actually looking better than it was. Obviously got some more cleanup to do there. I'm gonna have to get in there probably this coming weekend, if it doesn't rain all weekend, and finish shoveling this out. And then we got to get down to the deep end and actually pump out the last of the water and get the sludge out of that end as well. So still making progress on the exterior. I'm gonna get started here. Snow is falling softly, it's lovely. Be nice to sitting inside in front of a fireplace, but instead I'm out here doing some excavation around the foundation. That's how we roll here at Woodmere Estate. So hang out this evening and let's see what we can figure out. You gotta love West Virginia in March. It's beating the snow down right now. I was able to pull some brick and dig down through the soil underneath. And what I discovered is there was a kind of shallow layer of sand that the brick was laid on, and immediately below the sand was a heavy layer of clay, probably a couple feet deep. And then running down the outside wall of the foundation, I ran into some gravel, some pea gravel, and then finally underneath the pea gravel, maybe only a few inches of pea gravel, I found the old clay weeping tile drain system that was installed there. So the heavy clay is definitely not helping the drainage situation. You've got that brick laid right up on top of that, and all that water just goes down and runs through the sand and then sits on that clay. And it's an unstable surface for the brick, and it is settling, and it's wallowed out in places, and all that water just sits in that clay and pushes right up against the foundation. So let's walk back over here and show you what we're dealing with. The snow tapered off for a few, and then it really just took off again, so I'm getting pelted right now. So here's the hole. Kind of hard to see down in there. Let me grab a flashlight so we can actually see what we're doing here. Good night. This snow is crazy. I wasn't expecting this. I knew there was a chance of flurries this evening, but it's a little more than a flurry. Let's grab a flashlight. It's getting dark on me, even with daylight saving time. All right, let's walk back over here and take a look down the hole. Give you an idea what I'm talking about. All right, so here's the hole I dug. And you can see there was a little bit of sand, maybe an inch, underneath these brick pavers. And then below that sand is just this real heavy clay. Thick, heavy clay. And clay is horrible for drainage. I mean, clay just, it soaks up the water. Water runs off of it and against the foundation instead of draining down. It does look like the foundation was waterproof with something. Probably just tar back in the old days, because it is kind of black on the outside, but obviously not doing a very good job keeping the place dry. And then down at the bottom there, you can see the gap between the two clay weeping tiles. And looking down in there, you can see some water, and it definitely doesn't look like it's moving. It looks like it's just sitting down there. So probably some blockages in places. You know, I dug through some roots getting down in here, so there's probably some blockages, some roots grown through. Could even be filled with soil in places. Who knows? But at any rate, it's doing a poor job of draining the soil around here, and so we've got obviously some really significant water issues inside the house. So what we're going to have to do is pull up all these brick pavers, and some of them are in great shape. You know, I've been stacking the ones up that are in good shape. Others are coming up in pieces. You know, the bottoms are falling off of them, or the tops are spalling. So we're ultimately going to have to, you know, throw some away. Others we'll save. Maybe we'll repurpose them for a different part of the project. One thought I'd given was to take them down around our stone fireplace down there and build a patio with them. So it'd be something fun to do, a way to retain some of the history of the brick, even though we won't be able to you know, reuse them around here. So we got to get all these bricks pulled up, and then we'll have to get some equipment in here and go ahead and dig up all of this clay, haul it off, and get down to the bottom of the foundation there and waterproof it again, and then go back with a modern drainage system that'll get the water out of here more effectively. So that's about it for this evening. It's starting to get dark on me, so I'm going to get my tools put away and get cleaned up for the evening and retire. Hopefully I'll be back down here tomorrow evening after I get back from work and be able to start pulling up some more of these brick and getting them out of here. Probably going to have to rent some equipment for the weekend to really expedite this process, because we're kind of at a time crunch. We're wanting to get the construction started ASAP, but we got to get this place dried out first. So we may rent some heavy equipment, maybe a skid steer and some other stuff to really get in here and start moving these brick as quickly as possible. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening, and be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss a single episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. Be sure to hit that like button as well, and share the Woodmere Estate channel with your friends and family. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Take care.